So now we're back in session 2. I want to thank you guys for coming back. So watch this. I told you before that Adam gets all of these animals sent to him. God makes these animals out of the dirt, and Adam gets these animals sent to him. So Adam starts calling these animals by name, right? He starts saying roach and ant and elephant and orangutan and eagle and aardvark and possum. He starts calling these animals by name. But God notices something. While Adam is naming the animals, he's not naming them in a way that would seem like they're comparable to him, that they would even seem like they're a helper to him. Wait a minute. How does this work? It's real simple. Adam understood that just because something comes to him, it doesn't qualify them to be comparable to him. And so these are animals. Now, understand this. With these animals, to a horse, another horse is really comparable. To a baboon, another baboon is comparable. But to a human, in order to make a horse comparable, you have to make adjustments. You have to adjust his arms. You have to adjust his body so that he stands upright, so he can work at the same level. So here's the first principle. Most people mistake partners for projects. You have to know the difference between a partner and a project. What do you mean, preacher? Here's what I mean. A project is a person that comes to you, and when you look at them, you're like, they're cool, but I need to make adjustments. They're cool, but I need to change the way they respond to things. They're cool, but I need to change the way they sleep. They're cool, but I don't like the way they eat. I need to change that. If you're in the business of changing them, then it's an indication that they're really not comparable to you, and you're taking on a project because you've given yourself more godlike characteristics than you really should give yourself, than you really should have. And so when you see a person and you say, man, this person doesn't fit me, it's an opportunity for you to say, you know what, they're not comparable. Instead, most of us say, you know what, I can fix them. And so when you get to the altar, the person you're marrying is the person in your head, not the person in your face, because the person that you really want to marry doesn't exist. And so the person you're looking at is an early version, or really a version of the person that you never intended to be with. So many people have issues in relationships because they made up their minds to identify and adopt a project on. Now, here's the problem with the project. Every project eventually desires to be authentically loved and valued. In other words, eventually Pinocchio is going to want to be a real boy. And so at some point, if you adopt them as a project, then in your mind, you're always thinking that you're the one that makes them who they are. And if at any point they grow beyond you, then all of a sudden you'll want to get rid of them because the project status no longer exists. And so I challenge you to ask one question in this segment, and that is the person I'm looking to be have a part of my life, or have as a part of my life, are they really fitting me, or am I trying to make them fit me? Am I trying to make adjustments to them because I really don't want them? I like parts of them, I like pieces of them, but I really don't want them. I want a version of them that really does not exist. And so my brother, my sister, if you're looking for a person and every time you look at them, you're seeing what's wrong with them, it may be an indication that they're not your species, they're not your type. And if you're trying to make them your type, ultimately you'll be disappointed because you'll find out that you can put a suit on a dog, but it will still bark. You can put a dress on a cat, but it will still meow. In other words, you'll find yourself frustrated because you tried to make a partner out of what was really in your heart a project. And so I encourage you in this segment to ask one question again. Do I really want the person in front of me, or do I want a version of them that does not exist? This ends part 2. God bless you. We'll see you in 10 minutes.